This is a really important video, to tell you the truth. Over the last 2-3 days, Sergei Shoigu, the Minister of Defense for the Russian Federation, has called, at his initiation, the Secretaries of Defense of the United States and their counterparts in France and the United Kingdom and Turkey. Now, this is officially known. And the subject matter of these conversations is not known specifically, but it is believed that Shoigu said that the Zelensky regime is planning to use a dirty bomb on the territory of Ukraine, that this would be a provocation/escalation. The foreign ministries of France, the United Kingdom, and the United States issued a joint statement saying that they would keep on supporting Ukraine and that these allegations, these Russian allegations, were false, and they insinuated in the joint statement that it was really the Russian Federation that was creating an excuse for escalation. I'll read you the specific joint statement, which is very interesting. We, the foreign ministers of France, the United Kingdom, and the United States, reiterate our steadfast support for Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity in the face of Russia's ongoing aggression. We remain committed to continue supporting Ukraine's efforts to defend its territory for as long as it takes. Earlier today, the defense ministers of each of our nations spoke to Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu at his request. Our countries made clear that we all reject Russia's transparently false allegations that Ukraine is preparing to use a dirty bomb on its own territory. The world would see through any attempt to use this allegation as a pretext for escalation. We further reject any pretext for escalation by Russia. The foreign ministers also discussed their shared determination to continue supporting Ukraine and the Ukrainian people with security, economic, and humanitarian assistance in the face of President Putin's brutal war of aggression. End statement. Now, it's highly unusual for these three countries to issue a joint statement like this. And the fact that Shoigu has never before called these individuals over the last several months, and he called them all, one after the other, including Turkey, which was not included in this joint statement. It seems to me that the Russians probably have this evidence cold. They know it. They know it for a fact. It is, if Sergei Shoigu would reach out to these his counterparts at these four nations, there is no question that the Russians have absolute proof, absolute and irrefutable proof. And what the foreign ministers of these three countries are doing is lying. Simple as that. I mean, it's not like they haven't done it before. Shoigu would never put himself out on a limb like that unless they had just absolutely foolproof evidence. Now, yesterday I did a video discussing the 101st Airborne Division. But there's other things too that's been going on. There have been a lot of talk from different troops that they are Zelensky regime troops, that they are getting chemical, biological, and nuclear protection gear and Geiger counters. This is as real as it gets. This is actually happening. You know, I mean, all of these data points add up to this being absolutely true. The foreign ministers of the United States and the United Kingdom and France are lying through their teeth when they say that this is just some sort of pretext that the Russians have conjured up out of thin air. And I mean, I really am at a loss for words, to tell you the truth. And I'm not kidding. I've never been this scared. This is truly a catastrophe. I mean, I really am at a loss for words, to tell you the truth. And I'm not kidding. I've never been this scared. This is truly a catastrophe if this happens. And it's not so much that the Americans will deploy their 101st Airborne Division in Odessa. It's just going to be a swirling whirlpool. It'll just suck in everything, all the armies of NATO for a full-on war on the battlefield of Ukraine. And this country that has suffered enough, it will be decimated like nothing before ever. And so I have to say that I'm truly scared for the first time in this conflict that this entire country will be just absolutely annihilated if the Americans proceed with their grotesque and despicable plan, because ultimately I blame the Americans. The Americans. They're behind this bullshit. And I have to say outright and openly, they are evil. It's not more complicated than that. They are evil, grotesque people. And I hope that at some point in the future, the people responsible for this are tried for this is a crime against Ukraine and a crime against humanity. This is evil, what they are doing. Sorry, I'm a little bit bent out of shape by this, but as you can imagine, I'm at a loss. I cannot believe that these people would be so evil to pursue this, but they are. And anybody who tells you otherwise, anybody who tells you that this is a Russian false flag or some nonsense like that, they are lying. Know it. Know what's going on. Okay.
So this is just one video.
Hi folks, Canadian Prepper here. Thanks for joining me once again for some more mental masochism. I don't know why the hell you keep coming back. You know exactly what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you that World War III is in full swing and it's about to go exponential. It's far worse today than it was yesterday, and it's likely going to be even worse tomorrow, which is why you should probably just shut this video off right now. Go out, indulge in all of the many petty distractions that Western civilization still affords you at a reasonable price, because it's about to get a lot more expensive to do half of what you did yesterday. So guys, let's just dive right into it. We're going to talk about dirty bombs, nuclear bombs. We're going to talk about the 101st Airborne potentially entering the war in southern Ukraine. Yes, NATO entering the war, and Russians fighting with NATO, which will likely prompt an immediate escalation to DEFCON 1. What else should we talk about? Oh yeah, the Chinese mini stock market crash that happened today, and that's a harbinger for war on the Taiwan Strait. We also have the mighty Mississippi, or should I say the not so mighty Mississippi River, just one of the many rivers that's drying up in the United States as the apocalyptic drought continues. And I also need to give you guys a warning that eventually, as this war progresses, I'm not going to be able to do this anymore, because the Ministry of Truth is going to start to crack down. They've already kind of set the stage for this here in Canada anyways, and just watch, they're going to do this in other Western countries as well. They're going to swoop in and they're going to say, you know, and there's a little bit of truth to this also, that there's an information war being waged and authoritarian regimes are attempting to subvert the minds of the Western masses and trying to subvert our Western democracy and undermine it by dividing us. That's exactly what they're going to say. In fact, this narrative has already been politicized, well politicized in the United States, with the whole Russians meddling with the election business, right? That was happened in 2016. But we're going to see that on another level, to the point of censorship, to the point where I'm just going to have to quietly back out of the room and start talking strictly about lighting fires and making bug out bags once again, because there's going to get to a point where real deal emergency powers acts are going to be evoked once we get involved in this war, which we will. It's inevitable at this point. And when that time comes, you're not going to be able to so freely talk about this kind of thing. It's just the way it is. You know, especially they're going to say, and it's funny because I've said this for years, but authoritarian regimes have a distinct advantage when it comes to the info war, because they have a digital curtain, a iron digital curtain, if you will. They have the Great China Firewall. So they can see into what we're doing because we live in a glass house, whereas we can't necessarily see in and go and meddle with them like they can mess with us. That's one of the downsides of a free society that we have is, yes, we are free to innovate and do a lot of things, and that's why we're maybe towards truth. Now, oddly enough, if you've been watching Sir John Campbell's videos lately, Dr. anything like that going on in China, it's to do with the fact that now Taiwan reunification, lockdown, haven't had their arms twisted just a little to the South Korean military. And this is a normal thing for every able-bodied male to be mandated to do some sort of service at some point throughout their life. And they use these guys as like a shield almost, because if the Russians attack them, then the Russians are at war with NATO, to test to see how far the Russians are willing to go. Now, this whole dirty bomb business, maybe, I mean, this should not be underestimated, this situation. The top guy in the Russian military contacted with urgency all of his NATO counterparts in the span of like 12 hours in fast succession. And he talked to Lloyd Austin twice for the first time since May 2022. So you know something serious is going on. Now, could it be that maybe there is some sort of underhandedness going on with the Russians, where they are setting up this pretext to use a nuke, because that's their way of threatening NATO to stay the hell out of Odessa, or else we will do something. We will either detonate a nuke in order to, prevent you from going in there in the first place. Because if they detonate a nuke, some people might say, oh, well, that's going to prompt an immediate response from NATO or something to that effect. I don't know. I'm just brainstorming here, okay? I'm not saying this is what I think. There's many possible solutions. Maybe Ukraine does have a dirty bomb. It wouldn't be that hard. The use of a dirty bomb, I was thinking about this yesterday, is that it would be a way of shaping the battlefield, because you would irradiate a certain region for an extended period of time. You wouldn't really be able to have troops in a certain region, so you can almost shape the battlefield as to where you want guys to go. You could, create bottlenecks. You could make it so that certain places become impassable. And you can do a lot of things. Of course, it comes at the cost of radioactive fallout, not in the, ground burst nuclear sort of sense, but there still would be fallout. It would be far more limited than a nuclear blast. But like this map shows here, this is in Cyrillic, so I don't read Russian. I know some of you think I'm a Russian agent, but no, I don't. But apparently, this would be the prevailing winds might take the the radiation that way first a little bit, and then before wrapping back around in the jet stream. And if there was a nuke detonated, so they're trying to say that, well, we wouldn't detonate a nuke because it would backfire on us, right? It would backfire on the Russians. It wouldn't primarily affect NATO countries, although it would a little bit. And some people are...
or systems. This will combine joint all right, folks, things are becoming life-threatening by the minute. Russia has stepped out, and they said that the United States of America is the country that is giving instructions to Ukraine to create, implement, and deploy a dirty bomb in Ukraine, blaming it on Russia. This is being called a massive amount of false flag propaganda by the United States of America and by NATO allies. Russia said that it will not discontinue its alerting of other countries of this type of activity to take place. We have seen pictures and video of Russian military personnel donning their nuclear radiation.
So this is a book of Jeremiah 30 and verse 5. It reads, "For thus says the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man does travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, all face are turned into paleness. All praise and honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Lakah, Kadash, and Abahana to the elder and the apostles of the Timison who do well. A peace, blessing, and salutation to Joachim who are pushing this truth to the four winds of the heaven and be on the forefront of this spiritual war, and to make sure Jerusalem is established as a praise, and he on earth again, as in the days of old. So I prayed 3 different videos, right? And all of them we are going to see current event concerning the war in Ukraine, man, or what we call the simultaneous equation of prophecy, man. And I am Yeshaya, your fellow servant from GMS, is a Church of Tanzania. Coming to you with these simultaneous equations of prophecy, in which in this part I will be narrating to you about the algorithm of WW3, man, in which right now we are entering into a very dangerous phase, man. It might be some what we call propaganda news or whatever, man, but hey, man, we have gone beyond the point of return, man. Be it propaganda or whatever, man. You might think whatever you want, man. But over here, man, we are excited through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yashai. We have gone past the point of the Cuban Missile Crisis, man. You see, we are at DEFCON 2. And when it hit DEFCON 1, man, nukes will fly. See? I don't give a fuck what you think, man. We are that close to a World War III. If you wanna stay in America, man, so be it, man. See? The first video I played was from Gonzalo lira, and in that video he said 3 times that he is scared, man. And as you know, it is that dude, the Gonzalo lira, he is very proud, man. You see? A lot of you Negroes over there in America don't have the gut to move from America and then go and live in the front line. That's how Gonzalo lira is, man. And right now he's coming out saying that he is scared. 3 times, man. 3 times. Very serious. See? They wanna detonate what you call a death bomb, in which me thinking as a man, man, they ain't gonna do it. Me thinking as a man, they can do it, but me thinking as a man, they ain't gonna do it. I see. They ain't gonna do it. But I was reading from Scott Ritter. He went into the technicality of how to make a death bomb, and he went into the evidence that the Ukrainians were planning it. I don't know if they can carry it through or whatever, but they have the facility, they have the capacity, and they have the different technology in which they were moved from the UK to Ukraine. See, so NATO, they are holding handy the Ukrainian to make this death bomb. See, Scott Ritter, he went through all of that, man, and that information came from the Russian Defense Ministry, man. So it is confirmed. And Russian have been calling all of these different foreign ministry of these different countries, man. It's giving them the nitty-gritty of what is going on in the front line, man. Because this is a very dangerous escalation, man. Not only this, man. See, you have the Iranian, man. You remember how back in the day, this is the Germans, they refused to give the Russians the gas turbine so that they can repair Nord Stream 1. Guess who gave them the gas turbine? The Iranian. Like now the Iranian, not only that they're giving them different drones, different missiles, and they are sending personnel. And that is pissing off the West. So the West is getting ready to kick off, man, this war, man. You see, they're getting ready to kick off. That's why I call it the simultaneous equation of prophecy. You brothers out of there, you might be thinking in your head, man, why is Yoshi wanna go a little bit faster than the prophecy of the multi-B? No, man. All of this prophecy, all of this is 3 major prophecy. You can say 2 or 3, whatever, man. Jacob Trouble, the mark of the beast, and Old Yoshi, the second coming of our Lord and Savior Hawashai, in which when you compress them, they become 2 prophecy. See? They will go simultaneously, man. You see? They will go simultaneously, man. How they will kick off, I don't know. I'm just a messenger of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, man. You see? I'm just a messenger of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, man. You see? You see? So I don't even remember if I gave all the praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, man. Double honor to the elder and the apostles of this mission who do well. A peace, blessing, and salutation to you who are pushing this truth to the four winds of the heaven, and bring on the forefront of this spiritual war, and to make sure Jerusalem is established as a praise, a healing is again, as in the days of old. So that's it, man. See, this is a breaking news, man. So you can't go beyond this. Beyond this is your see. That's why Gonzalo Lila was telling you, once they notice that bomb, man, everybody will be sucked into this what you call this world you see. Everybody NATO, China, whoever, man, the Middle East will all go in flame. You see? So we're just waiting for that one event in which will make all this prophecy come to pass. Jacob Trouble, man. You see? Everything is set up concerning Jacob Trouble. I was listening to the brothers from Alabama, man. They were going to the setup of Jacob Trouble. Everything is in place, man. Waiting for Jacob Trouble to kick off, man. Everything concerning the multi-B is in place, man. You're just waiting for that one event to kick everything off, man. You see? You see? So, hey, man. And you people are scared, man. You people are scared. Let me repeat. Jeremiah 35, we say, for thus says the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, we have heard the voice of trembling, of fear, and also peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man does travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hand on his loin, as a woman in travail? All faces are turned into paleness. You see? All faces are turning into paleness, man. You see? You see? Let me go to the book of Isaiah 13. You see? So this is the book of Isaiah 13, starting at verse 1. It says, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. So what is the burden of Babylon, man? Prophecy. Lift ye up the banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the noble. I have commanded my sanctified one, I have also called my mighty ones from my anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of multitude in the mountain, that's going to this different nation, man. They are getting ready to kick off this world Yoshi, man. Like urging the great people of Tamaria's noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together, the Lord of hosts masters the host of the battle. They come from a far country, from the end of the heaven, even the Lord, the weapons of his indignation, to destroy the whole land. Hurry, for the day of the Lord is at hand, it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. You see, the day of the Lord is at hand, man. It's any day now, man. Therefore shall your hand be fainting. You see? And every man's heart shall melt. You see? And when you go to the comment board of Gonzalo Lila, man, everybody's scared. You little bastard Edomite, man. You are scared now, man. You see? You are scared now. And you ain't seen nothing yet, man. You ain't seen nothing yet, man. And they shall be afraid, pang and sorrow. You see? Shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travail. They shall be amazed one after another. Their face shall be as a flame. Why? Because they will go up in flame. So this is this. I say shalom. I hope you brothers were edified. On to the next